All right. So if you haven't already, oops, you can find your way into a comfortable seated position. You can do that. I'm messing with my props here. All right. So let's see. I got one big request today for hips and energy level, medium to low. So that's what we'll do. So find a comfortable seat. You can sit up nice and tall. If you'd rather lie down, you can. We'll do our breathing practices. That can be done seated or lying down. And just take a moment. Let's start our practice with a few sighs. So take a nice deep breath in through the nose and just sigh it out through the mouth. And do that maybe 2 or 3 more times. Really just letting everything go. And then whenever you feel ready, you can let your breathing return to its natural state and just start to notice how you feel. Turning your attention towards yourself in as deep a way as you can. So we'll start on the outer layer, right? So notice the outer edges of you, the sort of the borders, the parameters, right? So notice how you occupy space. The edges that separate you from the atmosphere, right? Just notice. And then let your awareness go a little deeper, right? Noticing how your skin feels, how your muscles feel. And then go a little deeper. Notice the structure of your body. If you're sitting upright, your bones are supporting you, even if you're lying down. But when you're sitting up, right, we're kind of letting our structural support be there. So notice the bones of the body, how they're arranged, how they're shaped, how they feel. Then start to notice the softer edges of the body, right? As you breathe, notice your lungs expanding, contracting. Bring awareness to your belly and notice that, here lies your abdominal organs. Noticing lungs and heart and how they make their own unique rhythm. And start to notice your mind, how your attention is doing as you focus on how it feels to sit and breathe. Is there mind chatter going on? Can you be nice to that fact, right? Can you just accept where the mind is at? And very gently and lovingly direct it to your breath, direct it to the body. See if you can let the breath get even slower and deeper. Noticing as many details as you can about breathing. If you'd like, you can add ocean sounding breath, ujjayi. Soft constriction in the back of the throat, just creating that really gentle, soothing sound. And just let your mind be absorbed in all the details of how it feels for your body to breathe. Simply connecting to the breath. And continue your breathing really slowly, deeply. And maybe adding movement with the arms, right? Maybe starting some sun breath. Inhaling, the arms can go up. When you're ready, and exhaling, the arms can come down. You choose whatever pattern you would like to move with your breath. Maybe it starts out small. Maybe it gradually gets bigger. Or maybe you were happy with stillness. So find out what's working for you today. And eventually let your arms rest if they're moving, and let your body start to breathe itself. And just noticing the effect. You can bring your hands into prayer position in front of your heart. And just really honoring yourself and your practice by beginning with a gentle intention, right? What would you like to receive from doing yoga today? And I will send those intentions out into the world with the sound of Om. You can listen or join me. Either way is fine. Take a breath in together. Om. Om. Peace, peace, peace. So maintaining the lift of your heart, you're welcome to release your hands, but you can start to bring your chin down towards your chest. And just exploring the details of how it feels to hang your head like this, where you feel the stretch. If you'd like to move your head a little bit side to side, that might feel good in the neck and shoulders. And then eventually let your head start to roll ear to ear. So you can inhale, ear above shoulder, exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, other ear, other shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. So let your mind just be absorbed in how it feels to move and breathe. Relax the jaw, relax the face. And the next time your head is tipped one way, just pause there. Relax your shoulders, deepen the breath. Good, and slowly make your way over to the other side. And pause there for a couple of breaths. Good, and you can bring your chin back down to your chest when you're ready. You can blink your eyes open and bring your head back up. And if you're sitting on props, you can dismantle them, press them off to the side. And hips was the main request. So let's start our legs and hips from lying down. So find your way onto your back. And when you get there, it might feel good to bring your knees into your chest, maybe hold the knees or wrap your arms and just rock side to side a few times. So just saying hello to the back body. And you can come to stillness and let your hands and feet reach up towards the sky and just start to circle your feet and hands or rotate at wrists and ankles. And see if you can let your arms be really heavy in the shoulders and your legs be heavy in the hips. And then go the other way. So just, changing the direction of the circle. Good. And then let your arms and legs and feet and hands just shake. So you can start off really small and gentle. If it feels good, you can let that get a little bigger. Good. And then when you're ready, you can hug your knees in again. Might feel good to rock side to side. Good. And then come back to center. Keep your hands clasped on the right knee and extend your left leg. So let it be flat on the ground if that feels okay. Then you can release your hands and start to rotate at the knee. So we call this paintbrush because usually I say, imagine you have a paintbrush on your knee and you're painting circles on the ceiling. So let the lower leg be just along for the ride. It's just really floppy, right? It's really relaxed. And then go the other way, same leg, other direction. Good. And then bring your knee in or into stillness and let your right hand hold the knee. And your left hand can slide down to grab either the ankle or the foot. So you're just changing the direction a little bit. We're just warming up, so it's not going to be a lot. So the foot is making its way towards the left shoulder. For me, it's going to take it's never going to get there, but that's the direction. And then start to just cradle your legs side to side. The other alternative is just bend your left leg, cross your right ankle over the knee, and let the legs go side to side. So, let your arms do the work or the left leg do the work. It's up to you. I find my spine twists less when I do it with my arms, and my back likes that better. And I also get a little deeper stretch out of the hips, but everybody's different. Good. And then pause in center and just breathe. Just finding a range that's going to feel good just to hold for a breath or two. Relax your shoulders. Relax the neck, the jaw, the face. And then release. Let your right leg match the left one. Bent or straight, that's up to you. And just notice. Good. And then we'll do the other side. So bring your left knee in and start to rotate. Right, we'll do our paintbrush moves. Deepen the breath. Let the lower leg just be along for the ride. Good. And then go the other way. Circles can be as big or as small as your hip needs them to be. Good. And then draw your knee in towards center. You can hold on to the knee with your left hand and slide your right hand to the ankle or the foot and just start to change the shape of the leg a little bit and cradle it. So my left hand is really, really gently pressing the knee away from my body. And my right hand is very gently drawing the foot towards my body. So remember, the alternative is crossing the ankle over your right bent knee. So moving side to side, noticing how your hips feel, right? How your back feels, making sure the arms are relaxed, and then eventually coming to center. Just find a place where you can hold and breathe for maybe a couple of breaths. Good. And when you release, let your legs match. So either legs flat or knees bent. And just notice how your legs and hips feel. Good. And you can bring your knees in again. Hold the knees or shins and start to rock side to side. You can also wrap your arms around the legs. So just find out what works. Good. You can come back to center. You can place your feet on the ground and just take a moment. Notice how you feel. Great. So we did the hips and legs pretty good. So let's do the rest of the body, but we'll do that from seated. So you can roll over to one side. Taking a moment, and then when you're ready, you can press yourself up sideways to seated. And swing your legs around in front. Sorry, I'm just reattaching my battery pack. Okay. And if you bring your hands behind you, knees bent, feet wide apart, and let your knees go side to side. You could also be on your forearms if you want. Good. And then let your knees go over to the right. And rearrange so that you are comfortable. I'm going to do this way. Okay. Good. And just pausing for a moment, right? Sitting upright and tall. And just notice how it feels. I know my hips feel kind of tight just to hang out here. So let's move around briefly. So bring your left hand to your left hip and your right hand beside you. And as you inhale, press your hip forward as you twist from the base of the body to the top. And then exhale, unwind. Come back to center. So we'll do that again. Inhaling forward. Exhaling back. You can do one or two more to each direction, depending on your pace. Good. And then come back through center and just notice, like I notice right now, there's a pretty good space between my left sitting bone and the ground. It's not bad or good. It's just notice, right? So let's take the left knee. I'm just going to bounce it up and down a few times. I feel like I haven't done this one in a very long time. We used to do this all the time. So just bounce your knee up and down. Good. And then start to circle it. This is hard to do. I really haven't done this in a long time. You're going to circle the knee and bounce it. Does that make sense? So if you were like drawing a dotted line, good. And then go the other way. Ooh, that's tough. And then you can release. Good. And notice I think my sitting bone is a little bit closer now. And then from here, you can bring your hand to your hip, gently press your hip forward and start to twist. And this time we'll hold it. So gently pressing your left hip forward as you twist. Bring your hands, they can just walk to the right until they feel comfortable. You can look over your right shoulder. Relax the glutes. You can sit up comfortably tall and breathe. Keep relaxing the hips and the low body. Keep adding little micro movements just to find out what would feel just right. And then when you're ready, you can start to unwind, hands behind you. Let the knees go side to side a few times once the feet are wide apart. Good. And then let your knees go the other way. They can go over to the left. And we'll start, you can bring hand on hip, right hand on hip, left hand beside you. And inhale, press your hip as you twist. And exhale, unwind. So just going really slow, really curious as to how this feels and how far or not so far your body wants you to go. I know I always emphasize that, but I think it's worth it. It's worth it to keep asking yourself the same question, right? How does this feel? How does this feel now, right? I know how it felt a few minutes ago. How does it feel now? Good. And then come back to center. You can just pause and sit. I kind of forgot that on this side. And just notice if this feels okay. There's probably a space between your right sitting bone and the ground. That's all right. So take your right knee and just bounce it a few times. Just releasing tension. That's really all we're doing. And then you're going to circle and bounce. It's easier for me on this side. I found it really hard on the first side. Good. And then go the other way. I used to have you guys write your name. I'm not going to do that today. And then you can pause and just notice. Good. And then we'll hold a twist. So lengthen your spine first. Walk your hands to the left. Press your right hip. And twist. Right? So the twist happens from the hips first and then winds up to the ribs, to the shoulders, to your head. So find a version of this that feels good to you. Breathe. Soften where you can. And just watch what happens. Watch where the mind goes. Watch what the muscles are up to. Good. And you can make your way back through center, hands behind you, feet wide apart, and allow the knees to go side to side. All right. So from here, you can come to stillness, kind of scoot back. So just make sure you're on your sitting bones. The left leg can be extended really however it wants to be. And you can cross your right ankle somewhere over the left leg, right? So you're just going to sit up comfortably tall. And from here, this might be all your body wants you to go, in which case you would just wave your left foot side to side. So we did this lying down. We're going to do it seated because it's a little different. Or you can take hold of your foot and your knee, but use your belly muscles, right? Sit up nice and tall and start to cradle your leg side to side. So look lovingly at your knee. So gravity is working on you in a different direction. So it's going to feel different, right? You also have your hips in a different angle than you did when you were lying down. So just notice. Look lovingly at your knee as you cradle it side to side. I'm sorry, hips, for sitting in a chair so much today. We can move around now. Great. And then from here, we're going to place the foot down. You decide if the foot is placed on the outside of the left leg or the inside. So you choose. We're going to take our time here. We're going to move from this hip stretch into a twist. So before we get there, right, foot on the inside or the outside, that's up to you. You can take a breath in to sit up comfortably tall. And as you exhale, just start to round your back. So roll your shoulders forward, tuck your chin, round your back. And then as you inhale, just come up to neutral. You don't have to arch the back, just neutral. Inhale. Then exhale, same thing. Start to round your back. Inhale right up to neutral. Start to lift your heart though. Yeah, exhale, round. So next time you come up to neutral, just pause there. Good. Press out the sole of the left foot. I always imagine there's like a wall, and I'm just gently pressing my foot into the wall. And bring your right arm, let's do it this way. Bring it parallel to the ground. So look at your hand, take a breath in. And as you exhale, pull the hand back towards the shoulder and pull the shoulder back, twist to your right. And then go back to where you started, reaching forward. So see if you can get the shoulder blade involved, right? Getting into the twist. So moving with breath. Good. And the next time you're twisted, you can pause there with the torso, but bring your hand to the ground behind you. So you can use the arm to help you sit upright and straight. Press out the sole of the left foot, gently twist and breathe. And your left arm might want to change shape. You might want to wrap the arm on the knee or hook the elbow on the knee. But keep breathing. Right? So softening the shoulders. Finding the details in this shape that need to be tense. There are a bunch. And then scanning the body beyond those details, see if you can release tension. So we're always in search of that balance between effort and ease, right? We need effort. We also need ease. So keep breathing. Take another breath or two. And when you're ready, you can unwind. You can undo your legs. You can either bend your or let the knees go out to the side. And we'll do a little cat and cow here. Before we only did the scared cat one. We only did cat. So let's do a little bit of both. So inhale to arch the back. Exhale to round. Legs in whatever shape. And if you'd rather take a moment to get into table to do this, you're welcome to do that. Right? You always take as much time as you need to make these things work for you. Good. And then come back to neutral. And we've got quite a bit of stuff to do here to the other side. So you can extend your right leg, cross the left ankle over somewhere, wherever it feels good. You can sit up nice and tall. Maybe this is it. Maybe you just wave your foot side to side. Or maybe you hold on to the knee and the ankle or the knee and the foot and start to cradle the leg side to side. So look at your leg as you do this. Use your belly muscles more than your back. And keep breathing. Good. And then when you're ready, you can place your foot down. You decide inside of the right leg or outside as we prepare for our twist. Right, so you want to sit up nice and tall. Then you can take the left arm parallel to the ground. Inhale. And as you exhale, pull the hand and arm back, look left, and then reach the arm forward. So, we're not out in search of a one shape, right? You're not out in search of a very intense stretch. You want to notice everything in between. The path, the journey it takes to get there, the subtle as much as intensity, right? You want to notice all of it. So the next time that you're twisted, you can pause there, release the arm behind you, hand to the floor. Right hand holds or arm wraps on the knee or hooks. It's up to you. Press out the sole of your right foot. Lengthen your spine. Breathe. So finding that blend, that balance of effort and ease, will and surrender. Be confident in the will, right? In the moments that need to be tense. There it's intentional, right? Be confident in that. I need this tension. It's necessary. And then confidently let the other stuff go. Oh yeah, I can let that stuff go, right? I don't need that. So breathing slowly and deeply, noticing all the different directions that you're moving in. And when you're ready to unwind, you can start to unwind. You can undo the legs, and we'll do a little cat and cow once again. So legs however you want them. Exhaling to round the back. Inhaling to arch the back. So moving with your breath. Moving at your pace. Good. And you can come back to neutral. You can bring your hands or your forearms behind you once again, feet wide apart, and let the knees go side to side. We're not done with hips yet. You're good. And then let your knees go to the right and just rearrange so you can sit comfortably. Beautiful. And you're just going to turn slightly so that your heart is lined up with your right knee. And your left hand can go on the left hand on right knee. Right. So this might be plenty because I know as soon as I did that, it twisted my spine just a little bit to the right. So that might be enough. Or you can take your right arm and lift it up and gently stretch over to your left. So you're kind of arcing over towards the bent left knee. Relax your shoulders and breathe. Softening where you can, making any adjustments that you need to. Good. And when you're ready, you can come up. Ooh, you can release your arm. Swing your hands behind you and let your knees go side to side once again. Good. And we'll do the other side. So knees to the left. You can sit up nice and tall. You can face your left knee. The right hand can rest right on the knee. You can stay here or you can bring your left arm up. Inhale. And exhale, gently stretch over to your right. So aiming towards, fingers towards the right knee. They don't have to touch. It's just the direction. So breathing. Relax where you can. There's obviously tension that's necessary. Find what isn't. Right? Seek out the unnecessary tension. Let it go. We hold so much unnecessary tension throughout the day. Let's practice it here on our yoga mats. Let it be a little roadmap for later. Good. And when you're ready, you can start to release, lift up. Hands behind you. You can bend your knees once again and let your knees go side to side. All right. So let's find your way to sitting again. Find your sitting bones rather. And let's just round the back. So you can drape your body over the bent knees. The knees can be bent up or out. If your hips feeling pretty good, you can do a relaxed bound angle with knees out to the side. Either way is fine. So you're just rounding your back, deepening the breath. Good. And whenever you're ready, you can roll your way back up. Notice how you're doing. Let me see how I'm doing on time. All right, not bad. How about we stand? So find your way to standing. We won't do a ton of standing. We spent a really long time on hips. So let's make sure that, let's check in on how they feel. Trying to try out our new hips. All right, so find your way to standing, feet a little wider than your hips are wide. And we'll do our standing swinging twist to start. So just gently swinging your arms around, twisting the torso, lift the heel you face away from. Don't forget to breathe. Right? Just gentle reminders. Good. And then very gradually, you can find your way to stillness. Good. And when you get there, just take a moment, notice how you feel. And since we did a lot with hips, I figured let's do warrior two. Warrior two is nice because it has a stretch involved, but also a strengthening. So I will cue it so that you can kind of choose your strength or stretch or somewhere in between. So wide angled stance. Let your right toes or your right foot turn and your left toes turn in a little. Right toes at a 90-degree angle, or right foot rather. And let's start with strength. So imagine that you could pull your feet towards each other. Whoops. Find the balance or the strength rather in your muscles, and then bend and straighten your right knee. So we'll bend and straighten a few times, just kind of focusing on like how much strength is needed here. You could certainly do this without hugging the feet towards each other, but it's a little more stretch. So let's for right now emphasize the strength of it. We did plenty of stretching in the hips. So next time the knee bends, just pause there, right? Kind of tune in on the strength. Feet draw each other on the yoga mat. Right knee turns out, legs are strong. And you want to feel like your torso is balanced equally between your right foot and your left foot. I like to kind of sway a little bit sometimes, like I shift my weight to my right foot, I shift my weight to my left foot, and then I land right in the middle. Great. So take your hands into prayer position in front of your heart. Inhale and reach them up. Just get nice and tall and just pause there. Just keep lengthening the arms. Can you soften the shoulders a little? Can you breathe? Right? Legs are still strong, but the fingers are reaching, lifting away from that steady base. Good. And then bring your arms parallel to the ground. I know we did that a little longer than we usually do it. Good. Just float the shoulders down, soften the shoulders, and breathe. So you've built this really strong, balanced base. And now can you let the upper body be a little light? Like maybe you kind of fly around for a moment. Float your wings a little. And then find stillness, right? Can you be in stillness and one half of you be super strong and one half of you be really light and airy? I think the answer is yes, but I'm not sure. It's a question. Good. And then inhale, lengthen your legs, turn your toes forward, reach your arms up, take a little stretch. Good. And then we'll fold forward. We'll take a little break. So you can fold over the legs. If you're not doing full folds today, you can kind of move over to the side of a couch or chair, something blocks, something to prevent you from going all the way forward. But let your head hang heavy, let your breath deepen. Good. And you can bend your knees, spin your heels in and your toes out, and come up. So this halfway point, I call, the awkward squat one. And then we'll do a little twist from here before we come all the way up. Just dip your right shoulder towards your left foot. Come back through center, left shoulder towards right foot. And you're twisting. So you're kind of looking up towards the sky. Great. Then you can come back through center. If your legs need a break, if you need to stop them together, you can. If you're fine, you can hang out here. And then we'll do the other side. So left toes turn out, or left foot turns out, right foot turns a little. So first start with strength, pulling the feet towards each other. And then bend and straighten the left knee. Good. And the next time the leg is bent, pause. Good. Bring your hands into prayer. And inhale, reach your arms up away from the hips, away from the feet, and hang out here. Just keep breathing. So from the waist down, everything's pressing down, everything's strong. From the waist up, there's a lightness. You are defying gravity. Good. And then let your arms come down parallel to the ground. Soften the shoulders. Look over your left hand. Keep breathing. Right? If you want to wiggle around a little bit or kind of float the upper arm a little, the upper body a little, you can. Just to remind yourself, I am two things. I am strong and grounded, and I am light and airy, spacious, relaxed, right? Like those two things can exist at the same time. That's what I love about Warrior 2, or all the warriors. Keep breathing. And whenever you are ready, float your arms up, lengthen your legs, turn your toes forward. Oh, you can release the arms. Let's either do a regular old forward fold or interlace your hands behind your back and do yoga mudra, wide angled yoga mudra. So you decide. You can fold and breathe, relax your head. You decide how bent or not so bent the legs are. And if you're in yoga mudra arms, eventually let your arms float down towards the ground. Good. You can spin your heels in, your toes out, bend your knees, and come halfway up again. Good. If that twisty thing felt good, you can do that a few times. Great. And then come all the way back up to sitting. You can turn your toes, heel toe your feet back together, and just pause when you get there and notice how you feel. Good. You can bring your hands into prayer position. Find your balance on 2 feet first. Let's do a balancing pose. Let's do dance. Yeah, let's do dancer. Let's leave the hips alone for a moment, right? I was going to do tree, but it was like, am I overdoing it? Well, so let's do dancer. So if you need to hold on to something, move over to something that is stable. Shift your weight to the left foot. Let your right heel lift. And you can release your hands. And just start to bend and straighten the right leg. And next time it's bent, you can pause there. Maybe it just stays bent, Or you reach for it, ankle, foot, pant leg, whatever. Good. And then if you'd like, the other arm, if it isn't supporting you on something, can reach up towards the sky. Use your belly strength more than your back. Gently press your pelvis forward and find that stretch through the quads. If it's not already very apparent, it might be. Keep breathing. Try a smile. And whenever you're ready, you can release. Get out, do what you got to do. Good. And we will do the other side. I think I say this every time I teach dancer, but I love it. It's my favorite. It's so simple, and it seems like it should be the easiest one to balance, but I find it that that's not true. It's deceptively tricky. So find your balance on 2 feet first. Shift your weight to your right foot. Good. You can release your arms. And just start to bend and straighten your legs. So your foot just kind of goes back behind you. And the next time it's bent, just keep it there. Maybe that's your pose. Maybe you grab for your foot or ankle. You can let the other arm or I think it's the right arm, be involved. And breathe. Now this is the version I do when I was younger. I used to do King Dancer, but I think this one's perfect. So hug the belly into the spine, lift your heart, play with the stretch in the quads, maybe pressing your pelvis forward a little. Relax your shoulders if you can. And whenever you feel ready, you can release. Good. And we'll release from that gently with a really gentle standing swinging twist. So just kind of shaking that out, twisting that out, so to speak. Good. And then very gradually come back to center and stillness. Good. And let's come down to the yoga mat. And we will revisit a shape we made many times with the legs already tonight. And she's not here, but even when she is here, I always call it this. We'll do Dolores's favorite. I'll have to text her later and tell her we did Dolores's favorite. So if you bring your hands behind you, feet wide apart, and we did this a few times, we'll do it again. Let your knees go side to side a few times. And the reason I got a blanket and a pillow is because I know I like to be supported when I do Dolores's favorite pose. It's what we've named it. So I like to be propped up. So let your knees go to the right. Kind of rearrange so you're comfortable. So if you are using props or a bolster or blocks or whatever, you would kind of put it out from your right hip. So you're going to lengthen your spine, twist gently to your right, and then walk your hands away from you. Maybe you're using props. I am, but you don't have to. And you're going to lower down, rest to wherever you feel comfortable resting. Relax and breathe. So if you're not using props and your body doesn't flatten right on the ground, maybe just resting on your forearms, right? So just making it work for you. Continuing to deepen the breath, notice how you feel, soften where you can. And when you're ready, you can make your way back up. You can bring your hands behind you, kind of dismantle your props if they're in your way. Move however you need to move before you switch sides. I know for me, I have to move my props over. But eventually the knees can go to the left. Props, if you're using them, right off the left hip. Lengthen your spine, twist to your left a bit, and then lower yourself down onto arms, forearms, or props. So make sure that you are comfortable. And practice slow, deep breathing. Practice keeping your mind on what's going on for your body, for your breath. Whenever you start to feel ready, you can start to lift up out of this form. Push your props away. You can bring your hands behind you, let your knees go side to side if that feels good. Oh, Millie. Sorry, I looked over and Millie's licking my phone. I'm not sure what that's about. All right, so from here, sorry, you can find your way onto your back. All right, so we did a lot for back. Let's do a little bit for the upper back. So we'll do bridge. Bridge will strengthen those muscles we stretched and open the heart. So bring your arms along the sides of your body, palms face down, shoulder blades tucked under a little bit, maybe sidelines of the arms tucked under. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, push into your heels. Bring your tailbone up towards the sky as you start to peel your back away from the mat. And then inhale, slowly lowering the back down. So exhale, push into your heels, tuck your tailbone, lift the hips. Inhale, slowly lower. So you can do this up and down as much as you'd like. Whenever you'd like to hold, you can hold. So pressing your hips up, pressing the chest up towards your chin. If you'd like to interlace your hands, you can, and tuck your shoulder blades further underneath. And gently press the backs of the arms into the ground. So keep lifting. Glutes are engaged, legs are engaged. Can your heart be nice and wide open? Deepen the breath. Can you make peace with this? Is the is that natural bend in the back of your neck still there? In other words, some people tuck the chin and really flatten out the neck on the mat. I like to make sure there's a little space still between my neck and the ground. So I keep my chin ever so slightly lifted. So keep breathing. My body's right at the point where it's like, hey, can we come out of this soon? So whenever you reach that point, tell your body yes. So undo the hands, undo the shoulders, slowly lower your back down and just rest. You can walk your feet a little wider than your hips are wide. Let your knees fall on one another and just pause. Right, notice how you feel. Breathe. Good. And we'll do one more yoga form before we relax. We'll do a twist. So you can bend your, let's see, you're probably already there. Knees bent, feet on the floor, arms wide. You can scoot your hips a little right of center. Bring the knees in and over to the left as you let your head to the right. And breathe. Slow down the breathing, deepen your breathing. Taking the next couple of breaths to really soften into your twist, to notice even more details if you can. And when you're ready, you can start to unwind. You can square your hips. Give your back a moment. And then you can go the other way. So hips go to the left a little, knees come in and over to the right. You can let your head roll to the left. And just settle in. Start to deepen the breath. Let your mind just move through the body. Just being willing to see the transition, right? The shift, the evolution from the beginning of this yoga form to that moment where we decide, or you decide, to roll out of it. If you allow your mind to see it, there is a lot to notice, a lot to see. Taking the next breath or two to really soften into your twist. And when you're ready, you can start to unwind. You can square your hips. It might feel good to bring the knees into the chest and rock side to side. Good. And when you're ready, you can find stillness. From here, the practice is yours. So taking the next couple of minutes to finish your yoga practice, your moving practice, however you need to finish it. All right, so you can set yourself up for relaxation whenever you're ready for it. Making sure that you're warm enough, making sure that you're comfortable. And once you are settled in for relaxation, you can begin your practice by slowing down the breath, by deepening the breath, by relaxing into the moment, into the ground, into the props, whatever it is you use to prop yourself up, just softening in. Let your mind move through the body, noticing your feet, noticing the legs, Noticing hips and pelvis. Sacrum and tailbone. And then notice the belly. The lumbar spine. Notice the rib cage. Notice lungs and heart. Notice shoulders and arms. Notice your hands. Notice neck and throat. Notice your head and your face. And notice your whole body resting. Let your body breathe itself if you haven't already started to do that. Invite yourself to relax. Invite your mind to relax. Just settling in and letting go. All right, so if you feel ready to come back, you can start to deepen your breath. You can start to move fingers and toes. You can stretch or yawn or move however you need to. And eventually you can find your way up to seated. And when you get there, just take a moment and notice how you feel. Notice how the practice has landed in your body, in your mind, in your breath. You can bring your hands into prayer position in front of your heart when you get there. And we'll complete our practice with the sound of Om. You can just listen or you can join. So inhaling all together. Om, peace, peace, peace. You can bow your head to your heart, honoring your true self, your true light. Jai Bhagwan, namaste. All right. Thank you, yoga friends. Thanks for showing up. I'm going to stop the recording now.